10-day event features movies, we can definitely call them out of the mainstream, including one called Girl 27. On the Record host, Greta Van Susteren has a cameo role in that film. Fox Entertainment correspondent Lisa Bernhardt is live in Park City, Utah. Good morning.
Hi, Edie. Well, we're in a beautiful setting, but there are some films that are have some very dark topics here. One of them, Girl 27, as you mentioned, and I'm joined by the filmmaker, David Sten, the director. David, this is about a woman who was raped at a stag party at MGM, huge cover-up. Talk about the power that MGM Studio had and the lengths that they went to cover this scandal up.
Well, it's almost imaginable today to imagine what a studio was like in those days and how they could literally control the press. I mean, Louis B. Mayer, who ran MGM, was the largest campaign contributor to the district attorney. So the district attorney was his puppet. They would let the newspapers, they would say to them, you can't run the story, and the newspapers would say, all right, we won't run the story. So even though Patricia Douglas's rape at the stag party was front page headlines across the country, they squelched it after that, and the newspapers and everyone else agreed to stop talking about it.
And you found Patricia Douglas when she was a very old woman, and she had lived with this Shane. Talk about that.
Well, she was a recluse. She had not left her home in decades, and she had disappeared, and they had made her disappear from history, and my job, I felt, was because of what she had done in 1937, I knew she wanted vindication. She was the first woman to file a federal civil suit for rape as a minor. And so I thought, she still must want it. And it turned out, after a long, intense pursuit, she did.
There's also another film out here called Hound Dog, which deals with rape, and there's some controversy about Dakota Fanning being a young girl in it, and it also conjures up Taxi Driver, you and I were talking about earlier, Jodie Foster in that. What do you think is Hollywood's role in sort of portraying these films and how appropriate or inappropriate it is to use young actresses?
Well, that's a difficult question because this happens. And to say it doesn't happen is to deny it, and I think compound the shame of the people it happens to. In Patricia Douglas's day, in 1937, newspapers would not print the word rape. It was literally a four-letter word. So if something happens to you that won't even be discussed, it just makes you feel worse about it, and it makes you feel like you have the shame. So in that sense, I suppose it's good, but it's a difficult thing to portray.
Well, this movie is fascinating, Edie. It plays out in a very interesting way. David, you've done a great job with it. And as you mentioned, our own Greta Van Susteren does legal analysis in the film.
And she's great.
And she's great. All right, that's it from Sundance. Edie, back to you.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much.
Also, Oscar nominations today, a film about